everybody, and welcome back to 3-2 Brew. We are going to... Alright, restart. Hello everybody, and welcome back to 3-2 Brew. We are about to be taking on the second pre-fire league. We actually finished the previous league with green-red Ponza as the only green-red deck that was submitted at 4-2. So I'm rather happy with my first league result, especially for a format that I really know nothing about. We're taking another semi-fair deck. This is much more fair than the previous, I guess, depending on your view on land destruction. But we are taking the traditional rock for a spin. I've done a ton of testing with this deck. Don't know if it's really ideal or not, but I plan to run this deck through the league and see how it plays, because I really think it has a ton of upside. So, what's this deck trying to do? It is trying to outvalue you with creature. It is trying with creatures. It's trying to disrupt your game plan with hand hate and also removal pieces, as well as adding some, not lock, but some big negators out of the sideboard. So, Planeswalker, we have the one, the only, the Liliana of the Veil with the correct art. So, this card is our pseudo Hypnotic Spectre. Discarding, sacrificing. If you get to older, it's pretty much just over. So, creature package, we only got 17 creatures. We got basically 4 Bobs with some of the funniest art I've ever seen. I still love this art, cracks me up every time. 3 Scavenging Oozes just for some general graveyard hate, but also it grows relatively fast with the amount of removal we have. 4 Tarmogoyfs, just, you know, great value, great rate creature. 4 Tireless Tracker, which is a bit soft in some eyes. You could say that sometimes you play this card and it just doesn't get there because they just shock it or punishing fire it. So this card is on the cutting board because of that, but the entirety of this deck is, if you want to look at it that way. And then we got 2 of our top end is going to be Kalitas, Trader of Get. I think this is extremely, extremely good with our removal suite, but I just want to see where this one kind of goes. I really like Kalitas and I want to run it more. So sorceries, we got 8 of them. We have 6 total hand hate cards, so 4 Inquisition, 2 Thoughtseize. This was a split I saw on other lists. I ran a 3-3 split for a while, but it just felt like Inquisition hit enough stuff. The only thing that you're really missing out on is Twin and Jace with this split, but you gotta do what you gotta do. We also have a 1-of Collective Brutality in the main board and 1 in the sideboard. This is awesome. There's no flashback in this deck with like Lingering Souls or anything, but being able to discard a land if you don't really care, or if you're going to discard anyway with Lily, you know, you just Collective Brutality, discard whatever's in your hand if you can't play it, and then plus Lily on an empty hand. This is removal, this is hand hate, and this is a bit of a life swing as well. So I ended up adding from previous iterations 1-of Maelstrom Pulse. This, in my personal opinion, is like our only way to deal with a Jace in the main board. So I'm a huge fan of bringing in just 1 Maelstrom Pulse. We have 1 other piece to deal with in the sideboard, but in the main board, it's a sorcery speed Maelstrom Pulse. It can also hit like Tarmogoyfs if your opponent has multiple Glyphs out. It's a little bit more versatile than an Assassin's Trophy, in my personal opinion. It moves with sorcery speed, which does come with a downside, but I think there's enough upside there. Our removal suite is, in my personal opinion, one of the biggest mistakes in Fatal Push. This card is way too good not to play it, but I kind of wish it was never printed, just because the power level is so darn high for 1 mana. That's why I don't play Obliterators anymore, because Fatal Push 1 mana instant speed just takes care of it. 3 Abrupt Decay, I got 1 more in the sideboard. Some matchups this is a house, some matchups this is just a bit of a miss. But also awesome art, but just a very, very good and classic card. The Can't Be Countered is pertinent on this card. And then 2 main deck Nile Spell Bombs. So main deck, we're running 5 pieces of Graveyard Hate. Spellbomb's the most straightforward and easy, but also we have Skoos game 1, or we have 3 Skoos in the main board. So we have 5 pieces of Graveyard Hate in the opener here. So we also have 23 lands. So 4 Blooming Marsh, 4 Field of Ruin, which is not non-zero. We have 1 Forest, 4 Swamp, so that's our split for basics, a 1-4 split. 2 Hissing Quagmire, 2 Overgrown Tomb, 2 Treetop Villages. I believe my deck originally had this, and I tried playing with a little bit different of a setup, but this is much easier. And then 4 Verdant Catacombs to fetch what we need to fetch when we need to fetch it. And then the sideboard. So we have our Sweeper and Engineered Explosives. This only hits up to 2 mana value, which is a bit of a bummer in this deck, but it's okay. I think it gets the job done for our colors. I have 3 Grafdigger's Cage. This is an extremely important card in the meta, in my personal opinion. If you can run it, you should run it. This hits Green Sun Zenith. This hits Pod decks. This also hits Dredge and Vengevine and stuff like that. So I really, really, really like Grafdigger's Cage. It's a 3 of in here. Nature's Claim. This hits a lot of different things. This hits Twin Combo. This hits Ensnaring Bridge. This will hit a pod. So it hits a lot of very, very key pieces. And I'm a big fan of fighting on this 1 mana instant speed axis when we got overrated creatures. 1 Surgical Extraction. This is in here to hit important key pieces. I think a P-Fire, hitting a P-Fire is not bad. But also being able to hit a Stormwind Con is not a bad thing either. But 1 of Abrupt Decay to follow up with the rest. That's just kind of a situational piece. And then 1 Assassin's Trophy. I know a lot of people are really high on Assassin's Trophy. I value ramping the opponent quite a bit, personally. So I like to complement this with Maelstrom Pulse. Maelstrom Pulse does have a small upside. It's 1 more mana than the Assassin's Trophy is, but I think there's a ton of upside with Maelstrom Pulse. But Assassin's Trophy is also instant speed and only 2 mana. So it can hit what you need to hit when you want to hit it, as long as you got the mana. 1 more Collective Brutality. This is kind of my flex card right now. Don't know if I want to go in a different direction with this final spot, but I do like another piece of hand hate. Maybe a Thoughtseize instead of this, but I do think there's a lot of really good play with a Liliana of the Veil and Collective Brutality in the deck. And then 3 Leyline of the Void. This is just straight up hate. As you can tell from my sideboard, I am really, really, really hating out the graveyard decks. I've had a lot of struggle against them. I think I took my first ever match win against Dredge with Tarmo Rug recently, so Leyline the Void, in my personal opinion, is an absolute beater. I think a 3 of is more than enough. If you have to mull down to 5, it's well worth it, even to start with essentially 4 cards in your hand. So, yeah, this is a deck. We're looking to be a mid-range game plan. We're looking to outvalue our opponent. We're looking for 1-for-1s. I'm really excited. I hope you guys all enjoy. Let me know what your thoughts are through this league, and let's get cracking into match 1. And here we are, on to our first match. I like this opening hand. It's a little bit interesting and slow, but let's see if they Thoughtseize me. Crab. Okay, so we are up against Crabvine. That means we're going to Fatal Push this crab. Let's just get that out of the way. They passed right through. I don't know if that's an upset man, but let's take a look at their hand. Glimpse, Looting, Bloodghast. I think I'm going to want to take the Faithless Looting. Okay, that's the Bloodstained Mire. They have Glimpse if they want it. Narcomoeba and Creeping Chill, okay. All of these things we can deal with. To Swamp, I think I'm going to just lead on Goyf. We really need to find... Oh, that does suck. Didn't know what they do. I thought maybe they just didn't have a land drop or something. What have they got in the bin here? Another Glimpse? Good lord. Okay, Narcomoebas are coming back. We need to find action, and we need to find it fast. I need to find action that eats the graveyard, preferably. We have a lot of hate, though. Like, we do have hate in this deck for this. Alright, 1 Prized Amalgam back. That is not the hate I am looking for. What I think I'm going to do, though, is abrupt decay here. I think I'm going to move and I'm going to attack. All right, they're going to choose to block. I'm just going to put a Verdant Catacombs in. Oh, I wish I would have known we were up against Crabvine. Bloodghast. Okay. I will end step this. Wow, we're like abrupt decay flooded. Sounds stupid, but it's kind of true. I'm gonna play just a pre-turn Bob. And I'm gonna attack. I really need to find Graveyard Hate in the worst possible way. They've a Bloodghast, Gravecrawler. Gosh darn it. Can't block though, which is lucky for us. Man, wow. Oh, it's painful. And the prized amalgam. I'm gonna have to take a hit, right? I'm just gonna take the hit. I'm dead either way. Yeah. GG's. Didn't think I was going to be able to get out of that. All right. Well, this is why we have ley lines. This is why actually I'm going to bring in surgical, and this is why we have this as well. So we bring in our hate piece. Lily is definitely worse here. On the play, I don't hate that. Fatal Push is decent. Collective Brutality doesn't hit what we need to hit. Scavenging Ooze is one of our bangers. Maelstrom Pulse has play here. Tireless Tracker. I might just be too slow. We can go taller than him. Abrupt Decay just doesn't hit as much as we probably really want to. I think I'm just going to shave one of each of these. And I might just mulligan to finding a turn 1 ley line. All right, I will go on the play. Not a bad hand, but I'm going to need to mulligan it. All right, I will keep this. I will bottom Treetop Village. And I will put in a ley line of the void. And I'm going to just instantly try and find some hate real quick. Glimpse, Stitcher. All right, all of this is bad, but it's not terrible. I think that my biggest issue here would be probably Hedron Crab. Maybe not, though. They don't have any hate in the hand. I think what I want to grab here is just Hedron Crab. Keep them off of that game plan. They can play a Stitcher Supplier. They can do whatever they need to do on their end. I mean, they even passed a turn last game and just ran us over. Ooh, they drew that. Gravecrawler, okay. Scavenging Ooze has less value here. That's okay with me. Black, black. Let's get Dark Confidant online. We need to find removal. We need to find it fast. That's a looting right there. Let's see what they put into the bin. Glimpse, Stitcher Supplier. Okay, and Glimpse. So they kept 2 cards that they liked. I'm not going to block Gravecrawler. And then there's the Polluted Delta. Okay. Dark Confidant. Grafdigger's Cage is back up. I don't hate that. I think I'm just going to invest in a Ooh, probably in... Yeah, I'll probably just invest in a noose. That way, if they find some removal, I can deal with it. I need Dark Confidant to really show me some love here and not just cook me sideways. All right. Okay. I will knock block. Narcomoeba. Okay. All right. I have had more than enough of that card. And then I'm going to blacken one for a Goyf. I might get screwed to my own bob here. Not a whole lot I can do about it. But is what it is. Their Bloodghast has haste. Or drop. Crabvine. Okay. This is an axis I can fight on. Okay. 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 The Goyf might need to die here. Sorry, I'm sitting here thinking through my decision tree. Okay. Okay. Bloodghast. Yep. End step. Eat that. I think I'm going to have to push probably the Narcomoeba and force him onto the ground here. Okay. Block, block. What do we want to do here? We can push a Bloodghast. Yeah. I think I'm going to have to push a Bloodghast. Okay. Not finding land drops really hurts right now. Bob also just did work on us. Cast that on the Vengevine. Eat with the Scoos. Okay. Keep pushing here. All right, that's not lethal. If this is how they want to play it, we can Abrupt Decay that. Field of Ruin. Tireless Tracker. There's so many threats. Vengevine here would just be terrible. We need Kalidas. to resolve. We'll take another Scoos, actually. Okay. Okay. Here, here, and here. Okay. We did what we had to do. I will just deploy a backup cage and pass. All right, we need a land here. Land or bust. Come on, land. Don't be a shock land. Anything but a shock land. No! Ugh, the frustration I feel right now. Ugh. Well, that's GG's. Nothing we can do here. Well, good games. We lost 0-2 to Vendry, so that's a huge bummer, but hey, win some, lose most. Let's get on to the next match. Here we are on to match number 2 against Chicken Sauce. I think I'm going to keep this, and we're going to start out with a little Thoughtseize action off of Blooming Marsh, which will decide our turn number 2. See what Chicken Sauce is cooking up over here. Ooh, this is beautiful. I love to see this. I think Reckless Bushwhacker here. So sick. Steam vents in here. Here's one of the Curd Apes. Okay. I'm going to Inquisition of Kozilek here. And I'm going to take a Tarkus command. And I'm just going to float out a Nile Spellbomb. Okay. What do they have a Steam Vents for? This is spicy. This is spicy. I'm digging this. Okay. Alrighty. It's going to be Forest and Scoos. And I'm going to just instantly eat their Bushwhacker. Gain myself a life. Can't believe they had a Steam Vents. What are they doing with blue over there? I am interested. Whoops. Block. Block on a Curd Ape. They draw another Tarkus command? Very nice. Okay. Okay. I mean, we're going to have to line up blocks. I got no choice. Was not ready for this, though. I ain't going to sit here in front about it. Let's see. Do they have the Wild Nikado? What is the blue for? I need to know what the blue's for. Is it like Snapcaster Mage or something? Ah, GG's. All right, we're playing some kind of zoo deck, which looks beyond sick. I was staring at zoo today. Uh, Engineered explosives is a must. We're gonna want abrupt decay and collective brutality. Especially, we're on the play again, but I don't like Thought Seize. Now Spellbomb may or may not matter. I'm just gonna guess that it doesn't. Kalidas can be very good. Skoos is pretty good. I think that Bob is what we don't really want a lot of here. So I'm gonna bring that in. Alrighty, on to game number 2. We need to see removal. Alright, we keep this. We keep this. Awesome. They will reveal their secrets once the game is done. I respect that. I didn't want them to reveal it now anyways. Okay, Goblin Guide, Bolt, Goif, Goif. Goif is the issue here. We could have let Goif resolve and just YOLO'd it, but... Alright, Guide can catch a Fatal Push. Fatal Push revealed. S tier. Always had it. Okay. Let's say Lightning Ball for a second. Goif. That's a big boy. Big Chungus. Cast while the casting's good. If they want to bolt this, that's 3 damage I don't take to the face. We have a Field of Ruin. There's that forest we knew about. There's that bolt we knew about. Another Goblin Guide. Good golly. Collective Brutality, just right on time. Always had it. Um, 1/2. Fatal Push, or basically 2-mana Fatal Push at that point. Alrighty. We got a Maelstrom Pulse. We're hanging out. We can take them off of Sacred Foundry. Really got the, ooh, a little Reckless Bushwhacker action, huh? We're not drawing any threats. It's all removal we're getting. We're getting just beat down. The Rock is not feeling 100% right now. Yeah, we'll take that, though. We take that. There's my own little Goif. Yeah, the Rock is tough. I don't know. I don't know if this is it or not. In all honesty, this list, I've been pondering it for a while now after I played some other decks, so we'll see how this lines up. I would not mind another Reckless Bushwhacker from him here. Like, 1-drop Reckless Bushwhacker, they get in for some damage, Maelstrom Pulse, just eat up both their Bushwhackers. It's very interesting to me. Wild Nicodle, okay. There it is, there it is. I'm blocking that Wild Nicodle every day of the week right now. Laying a block down right here. This is exactly what I asked for. What's the life lesson, everybody? Ask and you shall receive. 1, 2, and 3. Good old Maelstrom Pulse. Just gonna beat in. I don't got any time to waste. They got 1 card in hand that they can rebuild, and they can rebuild. We have Hissing Quagmire up for defense next time. Okay. Let's just see what they're working with over here. Hopefully it's just land. Alright, flush the bolt out. I'm gonna go and attack. Get in with the Goif. Okay. Let's see what they fetch for. Stomping ground. Okay. I'm gonna take them off of Sacred Foundry mana here. I'm gonna go grab a swamp. Another Field of Ruin. I mean, the upside with this is that I have... This wouldn't have been lethal. If it would have been, I would have attacked more aggressively. Okay. I mean, they have something big here. Bolt. Steam Vent. Alright, GG's. That was close. Oh boy, oh boy. Hmm. This is a tough matchup for us. I think we just got to continue with removal.deck. We don't got much of a choice. I think Engineer Explosives on 1 is going to do a ton of work for us here. They're trying to get underneath us in aggro. Wish I had like a Ravenous Baloth to deploy here. Something just to gain us a little bit of life. Oh, I like this. I like this. Oh, man. Goblin Guide? Wow, Nakatl. That's a fatal push. Yup. Because that'll feed my Goyf. And then I got Goyf. Yup, put a land in the bin. What do they got? Ooh, a little BTE action, huh? Let's see, they got the, there it is, the Bushwhacker. Was this like an 8-whack build? I am high-key hoping it is. I'm a big fan of that. I'm gonna go grab myself a swamp. And I'm gonna Goyf this out. I will lay down blocks. I have Liliana, and then if I can draw one more land, I have Kalitas, who has lifelink. Goblin Guide. Everyone sideways. I'll put a block down here. I don't care, I really don't. I just need to stem the bleeding. Interesting inflection point here, though. Yeah, I think I'm actually going to stop for a moment here. Okay. Bolt. Okay. This is putting me into dangerous range, but I don't have a choice. They've already burned 2 bolts. I'm going to dump in another Goyf. And I'm just going to continue to lay blocks down. Kalitas is my next drop. They're sideways. I'm going to put a block on the Reckless Bushwhacker. Okay. Ooh, double Kalitas. I'm not going to attack. I'm going to hold back. I'm going to move in. I'm going to attack. That puts us into a very safe range. Little Lily of the Veil action. Just going to make him sack a creature right away. Ooh, that with Kalitas. Ooh, that's toasty. Card Ape. You love to see it. Okay. Fatal Push. Ah, GG's. Good games. Whew, we were able to stick around for Zoo. I was lucky on that piece. Yeah, we have lethal on board. I believe Xaxis. 4, 7, 9. Oh, would have been sick. Tribal Flame. Okay, they got the bolt down on me. Okay. Good games against Chicken Sauce. We were able to take this one 2-1. I thought it was grim for us, but hey, I'll take it. Let's get on to match number 3. Here we are in match number 3 against Brannigan Law. I don't know if they own a law firm or not, to be honest with you. They could be the people who host the Eternal Glory podcast. But we played against them last league. They were on Storm, I believe, Brawl Storm. So I don't know what they're on this time. I'm going to keep it. I kind of like this hand. It's got Scoos, it's got Push, it's got Nile Spellbomb. Ooh. I'd like to find a piece of hand interaction here, but I'm just going to Nile Spellbomb off the jump. Let's get a little bit of graveyard hate underway here. Okay. Keep it moving. Ooh, hoo, 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 hoo. Are we on a little Jundy McJundersons here? I'd like to take a peek at their hand, but that's okay. Let me just run out Scoos. I'm actually not playing the rock. I'm playing Graveyard Hate deck. What do we got? Oh, Living End. Oh, ho, ho, ho. This is going to be a tough one for us, I think. We're going to need to eat a lot with Scavenging Ooze. We're going to have to be grubbing down. K command. That's a bummer for us. No. Double Tireless Tracker. Let's get this underway. Maybe we can get the value engine online here. K command's sick. It's a card I want to be able to play again. Alrighty. Gonna move to attack. I'm just gonna get in with Tireless Tracker. And then I'm gonna follow up with another Scoos. And just say go ahead. Probably will fetch just straight basic forest. I do have a lot of graveyard heat, so there's a lot of nastiness that can occur from my deck and my opponent might be bummed about, which I can fully understand. You know, I've had Fulminator Mage in the sideboard a lot. I just didn't really know how to play that card. Like, I've seen it in a lot of lists in the sideboard, but I think it looks pretty darn cool, personally. Another cool play here is if they were to, like, Living End me right here or something, I could, like, fetch Fatal Push by, like, Scoos or Tireless Tracker and bring back Scoos Tireless Tracker, which would be kind of a cool play if I ever felt the desire to do so. I've never played against a Living End deck, so this is all entirely new to me. Demonic Dread. Okay, they're going to Cascade. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to go grab a Swamp. And I'm going to Fatal Push my Tireless Tracker. I'm going to crack a clue token so we can get in here. Field of Ruin. Okay. I'm going to move to attack. I'm just going to start the beats. Sack. Yeah, they're probably going to sack at the overgrown tomb. Just going to draw. All their cascade spells are 3 mana. If I yearn for more action, I can just Field of Ruin for a green next turn if I need to. Raging Ravine. All we get back this time if they do it is Scoos. We just got another one. Okay. Personally, me there, I probably would have hit, just instantaneously took me off of green. But I am not them. Okay, Tireless Tracker, getting pumped. Gonna hit a Fulminator Mage out the bin. And I am just going to begin the beats. Okay. We still have gas in our hand. That's the thing. They can get some cycles going here. Like, they got more than enough cycling action. Street Wraiths and stuff like that. But we have a ton of stuff to redeploy anyway. So I'm not mad about it. I mean, I'm just going to continue probably beating with what I have on board. It is 8 damage. Let's see. Was Demonic Dread? That's a sorcery. Wow. Spirit Guide. Yeah, I think it's Lily. And force a sack. And then just Blooming Marsh. They got tons of stuff they can do here. I wouldn't even mind a Fatal Push on one of these suckers. Attack with all creatures. Alrighty. We're in there. Will we see a living end? They're going to 4. Maybe they'll have a big turn here. But the Scoos will be able to come back, eat some of my own stuff if I need to gain life or whatever. I have a Dark Confidant and a Scoos to replenish the board. Discard, so I can discard a Confidant. Have Tireless Tracker left over with clues on board to grow. We have some engagement here. Like, it's not, we're not just chilling, you know? All they're getting back right now is a Fulminator Mage and a Simian Spirit Guide, which just isn't going to get there for them. So they need to kind of deal with everything on my board at this moment, because I do have Scavenging Ooze to kind of clear the way. Beast Within. Okay, they probably have it here then, if I had to guess. Yeah, that's okay. I'm not mad about this. Does stuff stay in the exile? No, it's Cascade. It goes back in. Okay, they hit a Blooming Marsh. That's fine. I'm going to attack. I'm going to threaten to pump. actually gonna say, nah, I'll eat something. I'll eat the mage. Okay. I'm just gonna deploy a Bob. We got one card in hand. We're trying to, really outvalue them. That's what we're just trying to do right now. Incremental gains and whatnot. Cycler. It's a good hit. They have another Cascade spell, though. Horror Broken. I think I watched this deck play the other day during one of our events. And it was nasty. It really was. Okay. That is fine with me. Living End goes back on the stack. How do we want to play this? I believe like this. Oh, shoot. Well, that's on me. I clicked the wrong gosh darn one. I meant to hit the Simian Spirit Guide. I feel that might just completely screw me right there. Oh, man. I saw that it was a 5 mana cost. I stared at it multiple times. I wanted to hit the Simian Spirit Guide and force a trade with a dead shot while letting the Scoos get through for 2. Oh, that's a complete misclick. Just wanted to clear the way. Okay. Well, I really mucked about and screwed that one up pretty bad, eh? I'd like an untapped green source here, please, deck. We take it in all forms, shapes, and sizes. Swamp. Overgrown tomb. Okay. I'm going to move to attacks. Okay, draw a card. And then what I'm going to do is activate Scoos. And do I want to activate Scoos? Nah. I got another one in my hand. Let's kill both their things. Draw some cards. That is a-okay to me. Well, next turn we can drop Lily plus Scoos. Okay. Let me start with, actually, in green, Lily. Force them to sack one. And then Catacombs. Go and grab a swamp. And we're going to do Scoos. So they attacked, so they had nothing else in hand and they attacked the Lily. They're dead on the backswing. They got some good stuff in their yard now, though. But if I untap with Scoos, I just start eating everything. They have a bunch of cyclers. That's nasty for me. Okay. Let's all discard a card. Discard Thoughtseize. That was a violent outburst. Okay. Well, what I'm going to do is drop in a tireless tracker. Put that in. And I'm just going to eat probably Deadshot Minotaur. Ah, we're here. We may as well Inquisition a Kozilek. Let's see what they got. Violent Outburst. Alrighty. If they don't kill Lily here, I'm just going to make them sack it. Is Violent Outburst an instant? It is. Ooh, I forgot about that. That's nasty. Force them to sack. Okay. They have no cards in hand. Yeah, we have lethal here. 1, 2, 1, 2, yeah. Yep, GG's. Well, my missed kick kind of cooked us there for a little bit, but we'll take it. They care very much about the graveyard. We care about Gravedigger's Cage. Surgical Extraction is big here. All of these. Abrupt Decay isn't bad, but it's also not great. I don't think it has much play. I think we're going to want Assassin's Trophy. Maelstrom Pulse is good. Hand Hate becomes a lot worse. We can hit some of their key pieces. I'll leave an Inquisition in. Collective Brutality just isn't as good against them. And honestly, Fatal Push either. So I'm going to bring all this in and let's see how this runs. I didn't. GG's. What I meant to say was GG's, not GSG. So. All right, going into game 2. This is bold, but I'm going to keep it. I like where this is going. A little late there, Leyline. I could hit a Living End. Violent Outburst. I'm fine with that. I'm not mad about that. Verdant. Let me put you back in the right area. I had hit the Violent. What do we got going on here? Oh. Forced. Goyf. We're going to fight the board. That's what I'm going to be doing. They can Living End here, if that's what they desire. They drew that Black Lease Cliffs. I'm not going to add nothing to the board. I got more than enough cookies right here. Okay. Okay. Still have 2 lands, I believe. Ingature, okay. There is no artifact to hit. They got a really good yard right now. I'm going to give it to them. It's looking nasty for me. Okay. Demonic Dread. Okay. Just lands in their hand. Okay. Time to build back. Yeah, we're starting with a Goyf. Goyf and then Lily. And then Tireless Tracker. Blackleaf Cliffs. A block here. Okay. Another Goyf. Let's just get Lily on and running here. Sack a creature. Okay. We're bouncing off each other. There's that Verdant. Very macabre. Nasty. Um, Discard a Dark Confidant. It's tough for me to kind of go through my decision tree here. Goif's about to be a 5 though if they kill this Lily. So I'm not really mad. Street Wraith. Playing with gas, ain't we? I'm gonna save that actually for Archfiend. Well, it's a race, they got it. Okay. No. And okay. And then one more for a Tireless Tracker. If Archfiend shows up, I can hit it with the Maelstrom Pulse, and I'm just going to keep on beating. Land here is nasty. Okay. I mean, they want to race, so we're going to race. Yeah, they don't. That don't work. We have them dead. They need to block. Wow, GG's. Took them 2-0. Very, very good. That surgical extraction saved our butt. So, on to our mid-league match recap. We are currently sitting at 2-1. We took an 0-2 loss versus Crabvine, which I didn't have the game 1 hate, which I do have main board, just didn't have any. So game 2, I just got cooked by Bob. He did quite a bit of damage, and I just had some bad draws. Came down to a final play on that land, and I really thought that we were going to be able to pull up and drop Kalitas and stabilize and go back on the offensive, but just didn't happen, you know, and it's going to happen sometimes. I do think this deck has a decent angle against Crabvine. We just had an unlucky first hand. and just not the sequence we need a game two, which is a part of Magic. So we took on Domain Zoo in the second and won that second match 2-1. Not a whole lot to say here. Domain Zoo looks like an absolute blast, but we have enough removal and pieces to kind of junk up the board that it does a good bit of upside. And then we went 2-0 versus John Living End. I did speak to that pilot after the match, and they said that they hit almost no cyclers, which was extremely evident in both games, in my personal opinion. But I do believe that the game two, they had a good start with a good amount of cyclers, and then they living ended. I didn't overcommit to the board, but then I was able to hit them with a surgical extraction, rip the rest of the living ends out of the deck so they couldn't just keep swapping graveyard with what's on board. And then I was just able to stabilize from there. So far through this league, Kalidas has felt like an absolute menace. I'm a huge fan of that as a top end. That lifelink is not non-zero when you're trying to clog up the board, especially against stuff like Crabvine and Domain Zoo and Jund Living In. So people are playing to the board, whether they're through combo or from the graveyard or however. Kalidas is a great way to help stabilize, gain you back some life whenever something dies. You get that 2/2 token, doesn't come in tap. So huge fan of Kalidas. Tarmogoyf has felt very strong. We played two graveyard decks. Tarmogoyf is obviously a great way to clunk up the board. Hand Hate has not felt great because of the discard, but that's going to be entirely matchup dependent. I like where this deck is at currently. I think that we should potentially be looking at a win versus, not an overall win, but at least a win in a game against Crabvine, but it's going to happen. It's a variance. So I hope everybody enjoyed. Until, keep your eyes peeled for the next league. Should be out the following day. So we'll wrap up the rest of the league and see where it ends. Until next time, this has been 3-2 Brew. Cheers.